everyone. As I mentioned before, today I want to share the correct answer for the review quiz. Let's move on to the question number 1. Question number 1 describe about one of the factor of five force. When we analyze the market attractiveness, one of the factor is structural elements. To evaluate the structural elements, we adopt five force analysis. Question number 1 talk about entry barriers to entry or threat of entrant. I hope if you look at some description or some elements, some activities, you can make some connection between the one of the factor of the five force as well. Question number 2 also talk about the one of the five force. Competition strength in the current market. If you have a strong competition in the market, you have to make your price lower, and then you have to spend more money for the marketing. So right answer is number option 3. Let's move to the question number 3. I ask about the source of competitive advantages. When we talk about the source of competitive advantages, there are 3 sources. One is cost, the other one is differentiation, last one is marketing. If you can reduce your cost, that means company's cost, you can get the advantages. Second one, you just make your product or service or reputation is different from the other competitors, you can get some differentiation advantages. If you have a very, very good marketing capability, based on the marketing capability, you can induce some profit, you can increase the market share. That is a marketing advantages. I hope you can distinguish the 3 different types of source of competitive advantages. And if I provide some example, you can make some relationship between the concept and example as well. Question number 4. This is also talk about the product differentiation. How a company make a product differentiation. The right answer is number 4. Question number 5. I just provide a table to summarize the result of the 3C analysis. If you look at this part, I already provide all information that you need. Based on this information, you can make a decision which market is more good, more proper to enter. First of all, you should look at the customer analysis. When we talk about the customer, I already mentioned the company focus on the market attractiveness. Market attractiveness means market profitability. So if you look at the first description, when you try to understand this first description, you just refer the first part. Just compare these 2 numbers. The market A have a greater number. That means market A is more attractive in terms of the market attractiveness, in terms of the market profitability. If you look at the second part, this is competitors. When we talk about the competitor, the company focus on competitive advantages. If we look at it, market B have a higher number. That means the company has a greater competitive advantages in the market B than market A. If you look at this part, you can make a final decision. Final decision might be which market is good to enter. If you look at the last number, you can understand which market is good for the company. Market A might be the very, very good, best option to enter. So I just described I just tried to interpret the table. If you look at this part, yeah, this is the right answer. I already mentioned based on the last number, we can understand which market is good for the company to enter. Also, I just want to make sure this importance weight is very important to make a final decision. If we don't have an importance weight, can you make a decision? No, I don't think so. If we don't have information rate, we cannot make a final decision. This is very important for the final decision. Let's move to the question number 6. From the question number 6 to question number 8, I ask about the meaning or definition of the segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Sometimes I can ask about the example. Based on the example, you also make some connection between the concept of market segmentation, market targeting, and positioning, and example. Also, we learn about the counter segmentation as well. Do you remember what is the meaning of the counter segmentation? I hope you just understand what is the meaning of the market segmentation, what is the meaning of the counter segmentation. Also, why we have to do segmentation or counter segmentation. Even though these two activities are so different, very opposite, but the reason why we have to do these activities is same, right? Based on the consumer needs, that means in the market, there are so many consumer needs, we have to do market segmentation. In the market, there are some consumer needs to incorporate several segments together or several needs together, then we have to do counter segmentation. Right? Let's move to the question number 9. This is one of the tactics for the coverage strategy. When you make a targeting decision, you just try to evaluate the attractiveness of each market by using the 3C analysis. Then you have to decide about the coverage strategy. The company wants to cover the whole market or a few market or one individual. That is a coverage strategy. If you look at this description, the company provides uniform product. Uniform product means you just provide just one product for whole market. So in this case, you need undifferentiated marketing or mass marketing. I also ask about the coverage strategy for the question number 10. You try to think about what is the pros and cons, the concentrated marketing. Last one is a description about the differentiated marketing. Differentiated marketing is segment marketing. Right? Let's move to the true or false questions. Firstly, I ask about the 3C analysis. I already mentioned when we analyze the customer, we're focusing on the market attractiveness. Market attractiveness represent the market attractiveness means market profitability. Question number 2. This is the source of the competitive advantages. I already mentioned when I describe the example, you have to make some connection with a specific source of competitive advantages. Question number 3. These 3 are mechanism of the cost advantages. These 3 effects describe how cost advantages increase the profit, increase the market performance. If you look at the 3, they are a little bit different, right? Scale effect. If you produce more, you can reduce the unit cost. Scope effect. If you have more product line, you can reduce the unit cost. Learning effect. If you have more experience, you can reduce the unit cost. Actually, they just talk about how can we reduce the cost, but the mechanism is a little bit different. Scale is related to the volume, production volume. Scope related to the number of the product line. Learning related to the experience. So I hope you can distinguish these 3 effects as well. Channel advantage is one of the capability of marketing. If you have marketing advantages, based on the marketing capability, you can enhance the market performance. That is a marketing advantages, right? So channel advantage is a part of marketing advantages. Question number 5, I talk about the coverage strategy. You already understand mass marketing means you just provide one product, identical product for whole market. This is mass marketing. If you look at this part, you just try to segment market, then You select one or two or more segments, then you just develop each different product for each market, right? So this description related to the differentiated marketing or segment marketing. Question number 6. The differentiated marketing is good for the product that varied in design. So if you have to provide very different types of design, that means that the product characteristic, because of the product characteristics, you have to provide a different product for each market, different design for each market. That is a differentiated marketing. If you look at this part, more attractive segments. I already mentioned when we make a targeting decision, we also use a 3C analysis. These descriptions are from the 5 force. Just look at the 5 force, and then you just try to understand which factor which factor influence on the market attractiveness. If you look at the first part, entry barrier are very low. That means you have a lot of higher threat of the entrance. If you have a higher threat of entrance, it is not good for the market attractiveness. Exit barrier should be lower because this is very directly related to the competition strength in the current market. If our market size becomes smaller, then somebody want to go out. But however, if we have a higher exit barrier, nobody cannot go out. That means somebody enter the market, but nobody go out. The market competition is stronger, become stronger and stronger. So this is not the attractive market. Question number 8. This is also talk about the power of the supplier. When you talk about the power of supplier, we also talk about the power of buyer. Anyway, the other partner, supplier or buyer, have a power. This is not good for the company. I hope you also try to remind what is a forward integration, what is a backward integration as well. So just think about what is forward, what is backward integration, and how these kinds of activity relate to the power of the supplier or buyer. This is case analysis. We already talked about this part a lot in the classroom, right? Then I want to mention about this part. So what is the positioning concept of the JNF? If you mention about the taste is a segmentation base, you just put the regular product, you just introduce a regular product based on the consumer's taste, right? If you consider this taste is very important for the consumer, when you provide the positioning concept should be related to the taste of a regular. So this is the concept. How to deliver the positioning concept is a little bit different way. You can create a very creative way to deliver the taste of regular product. However, when we decide the positioning concept based on the consumer needs, based on the consumer's needs, or based on the segmentation base, you can say positioning concept is very relevant to the consumer's taste. We introduced the regular product, so we have to focusing on taste of the regular product, or contents of regular grain, because the content of regular grain is very relevant to the taste. Okay? So this is the end of the explanation of the review quiz. If you have any questions, ask me. Also, you can come to my office. I hope everybody just prepare very well and get a good grade. Thank you for today, and see you this Saturday. Our exam will start from 10 a.m. this Saturday. Thank you so much.